Today is the day to unlock your social media profile's fullest potential. What's up, FlowChat fam? Chris here, CEO and co-founder of FlowChat.com. We're talking to real entrepreneurs that are getting real results. The ones that are on the front line, having all the conversation, driving the revenue, failing all over the place, and then discovering finally the gold, what actually works in today. That's why today's guest is here. She has discovered over and over and over again, specifically in social media and entire marketing campaigns, she can take a big campaign and make it very simple for you listening and watching right here, right now, today with us, how to implement this in your business. And we are going to do it live on the spot. So be sure to stay tuned with Darby on what she has to share with us today. Darby, thanks for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yes, I appreciate you hopping on. We were just talking about how we got connected in one way or another online, and I threw a big one at Darby. I was like, hey, here's a challenge. Like, can you handle it? She's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do this. We're going to on the spot break down my social media profile, and while you watch me go through the ringer, you can be thinking about your social media profiles, your marketing campaigns. This is her area of expertise. She's among the best, and so I don't know. We're gonna have some fun doing this, Darby. Before we jump right into that, just if you could share with the audience who you are, your company, and who you help.
Yeah, so my name's Darby. I'm the founder of Darby Days Agency Limited, and we run an agency and consultancy for coaches and consultants. So anything social media, email marketing, and marketing automation, we are your girls.
That's awesome. So they make the customer journey a great journey, and this is something that I've learned about, and I'm, as we're gonna see, not the best at. What I am really good at is solving problems and finding people that need that problem solved. I'm very uh, wired, and I've spent a ton of time on the sales side. But what we're going to be focusing mostly today is on the marketing and the branding side. And it just so happens that if you're really good at this skill, it shortens your sales cycle. It increases your close rate. This is the area that you actually get to work smarter and not harder. These are things that I feel like I should have mastered since over a decade ago. But hey, we're going to do it together right here, right now. Darby, is okay if I share screen and we begin the breakdown?
Yeah,
All right.
go for it. We might
As
need to zoom in a little bit, but I will try to instruct you
well,
as
yeah,
best I
just let us know.
can.
So it's like, all right, so we're gonna start. We'll be playing on Instagram today, and I'll zoom in. We'll just start from the top and kind of break down my Instagram profile. And while you guys are watching, you guys can be taking notes and applying this to your own profile. So Darby, where do we start here?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I want folks listening and watching this to realize is that social media platforms are the new search engines. And so, just like we would prep a website for SEO and keyword optimability, we want to do the same for our social platforms. And so, looking at your Instagram right now, there's a couple of quick wins that we can do even before scrolling into your profile to make things a little bit easier when it comes to your leads finding you.
Okay.
So the first thing, which is your name, not the handle at the top, but the name where it says Chris, you can add either your ICA into your name or you can add your industry. And
Okay.
that can help with searchability. So sometimes I recommend that you add what your ideal client would be searching for when they're on the social profile. For me, I think I put marketing agency, but we'll see at the end when you see my profile.
Okay.
So having some sort of keyword there. Underneath, you put entrepreneur, which is fine. If there is a business category, I'm proud of you for even having a business category. But if there is a business category that's even more targeted to who you're trying to reach, that's great. Going down into your bio, this is an incredible section to really hint at what you want the first action step for your lead to take. So, for example, what I would recommend is the last line of your bio, having the name or the result that they can get from a lead magnet or VSL with a pointing down. emoji is a really great spot for you to pop that. And then also, I'd recommend potentially adding some more keywords into your bio as well. So it's great. It seems like you're more set up as a personal brand there, which is fine. But if you were wanting to make it more of a business slash personal brand, adding some keywords in there for what you do, who you help, what kind of results you're helping folks get. Do you want me to keep going or do you have any questions so far?
I definitely want you to keep going and down, throughout this profile page. But um, I do have some questions. All right, so here's kind of what I'm hearing. First up here is I'm just calling this like the title section. Rather
Yes.
than having like title of in my name, you're saying this is more of like an SEO search term. We're helping people in direct messaging and sales campaigns. So putting some type, maybe I go do some, like, I don't know, hashtag searching. Like, how do I find the best term to put here for me?
So, what I always tell people to think about is if I were like, think about your best client
Hmm.
who uses you for exactly what you want them to. What you can even ask them directly if you want to. When you looked me up, or if you were to look for someone exactly like me again, what would you say? And pick some of those words. And then honestly, with those words, you can throw them into ChatGPT and go like, hey, what would be an optimal Instagram name considering this is what my ideal client searches when they're looking for someone like me.
Got
But
it.
it's
So it could
it
be like
doesn't need to
lead
be long.
generation or like organic
Yeah,
lead generation or okay.
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that's awesome. So and then you kind of outlined even a process of how to find and how to refine and implement that for everyone listening, watching. Maybe I play with this one. I don't even know what other options are available as an entrepreneur. But what are some of the
Yeah,
best
there's a
to
bunch.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so
Um,
yeah.
I mean, if you're a service provider, like there's a bunch of different sub services. So if you're in like psychology, if you're a practitioner, if you're a doctor, if you're in visuals, I'm pretty sure there's graphic designer, photographer, videographer. And then if you're a consultant, you could put coach or consultant.
Hmm.
And that just helps them understand how you're actually helping people, which is helpful.
Got it. Okay, that's awesome. I guess like I'm a tech founder. I guess like entrepreneur or found. I mean, it tells them who I am, and I guess what to expect, and it's somewhere around lead gen. But okay, I'll look through the titles and be fun to play with that one. Yeah, this is more kind of what I'm like the main values or things that I'm focused on at any given moment. So heavier on the personal side. I like the big takeaway I had was guided action steps like
Mhm.
this section is for like, hey, like here's what you do in my world, like do this and I can give you this, and then speak in words in terms of sharing results. What do they get from me if they follow me, if they opt into anything, if they engage with me? Like here's the result that I help people get, being clear up front. So those are the things I'm hearing. Side note, while we're here, can we talk about profile picture for a second?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yours is not bad. Although it looks very similar to your co-founders. You guys almost look like twins. Um,
All us bearded white
so
folk look alike.
definitely I am pro face, like a picture of your face. I know some folks are still really concerned about having it as like their logo or something else, but I'm pro face. I love including brand colors. I think what you've done is really smart. And I think have fun with it and have a very highly expressive picture as well. And something that kind of hints at the experience they're going to have in connecting with you.
That's awesome. How about this like note bubble? Like this is new.
That is new. Yes, they're implementing notes in multiple portions of the platform. So even when you post a reel now in a carousel, you can add a note beside it, like how fun it was to create it or what you have on your mind when creating it. So it's very similar, just adding a initial note of like, hey, if you want this, you're in the right place. It's still very new to the platform. So in terms of its impact on searchability, I'm not sure. But again, I think it's a great spot to put personality and just help folks understand what you do.
Love it. Okay, cool. So this is kind of the first part of the Instagram profile. Let's hang out in this section right here.
Yes. So these are called your highlight albums, and it's similar to pinned content on LinkedIn. So this is well, we'll get into like pinned feed in a moment, but this is the first place where people can start binging your stuff outside of your feed. And so it's a really good space to plug in things that help them know, like, and trust you. When looking at yours specifically, there are a lot of albums to choose from. And the pictures for the album covers aren't necessarily branded or high resolution, high quality, which could make folks feel like this is more of a personal or private account versus a brand or authority account. So my recommendation would make it more client focused and help them walk through your sales process a little bit quicker.
Hmm.
A couple common examples would be client wins, testimonials, a walkthrough of your offerings, and having a couple slides going through how you help people. I really like doing PR or as seen on, and that
Hmm.
can be a great spot for you to show all of the media that you've done and the um, public facing opportunities you've done, speaking opportunities. And then I like to have a catch all album, which is called BTS or behind the scenes.
Hmm.
And that's where I like to include all of the, travel. I see you have golf, family fun, and that's where I'd like to include that. Now, that being said, my area of expertise is working with coaches and consultants. And so if you are aiming for a more personal brand approach, you have a lot more leniency in your highlight albums. But if you are a service provider looking to present yourself as a brand or a brand authority, that would be my recommendation.
I love it. Yeah, higher resolution. And then yeah, there's nothing really here that's like, here's who I am, here's how I help you. I'm useful to the world. So a lot of opportunity right here. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a bunch.
And then the higher resolution, it's got to look pretty, especially on Instagram, right? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So now we get to move in to this section here where we've got posts, reels, save, tags. So here, let me like zoom out a little bit. And since these pictures are a little, is it gonna let me, there we go. Cool. Yeah. So here's kind of the grid. We got the first nine. Fire away, Darby.
Okay. So Instagram has a feature that is the exact same basically to LinkedIn, which is pinned content. So this is your pinned feed content. So you can choose three featured posts that you want to have at the top of your profile, no matter how long ago they were posted, you can have them at the top. So I recommend that you use those to your advantage. And there's a couple different strategies that you can use. The first is you can put your highest performing posts on the top line of your profile. This just helps you show credibility, show that you are results oriented and you have that social impact. The second thing that you can do is dive deeper into the sneak peeks that you were sharing in your highlight albums.
Hmm.
So, for example, if one of your highlight albums was testimonials, maybe in one of the reels on your top line, you choose to dive into a case study and really show the transformation from start to finish. That's just an example of what you can put on there. I have put 10 facts you didn't know about me, client results, and I've also put how to work with me in August most recently. So you can do how to work with me every single month and then just choose to pin that. But again, it's just helping make the sales cycle quicker by openly sharing who you help, what you do, how you help them, and the results that people can expect in working with you. We don't want to make folks have to search for that, right? We want to make it easy.
So do we pin those at the top or like in what
Yeah.
progression? Okay. So are we just pinning like three posts at the top? So it's like, here's some case studies, here's 10 things you didn't know about me, and then here's like
How to
you do
work
your
with
three
me in
steps to get
August or
started.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Ah, okay. That's cool. Yeah, right at the top. That makes sense. And then I'm sure you're doing variations of that type of content, but you just keep posting and
Yeah.
providing.
And if you want to get really fancy, then you can make a seamless pinned graphic at the top. So basically, the reel cover or the first slide of the carousel is basically a long image broken down into three.
Hmm.
And that way it looks nice and seamless at the top.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's like this is really the thumbnail, so to speak, that you create. You chop it up into three. Okay, I see. So it's like a banner almost.
Correct. Yeah.
Ooh, this is some next level stuff. Is there like an Instagram account that you can recall off the top of your head? It's okay if you can't, that has that.
I can plug one of my clients who's amazing. If you want to type in the search bar, Dr. Jane,
Like Jane, like
it
that.
might just be like Dr. Jane.
DR Jane.
And she's the third one down.
Okay. Ooh, there
So
we
you can
go.
see her top line there is nice and clean.
Wow. Okay. There we go. Like office, ready to help, who I help, how it works, patient results. I don't know if I've even seen an Instagram profile like that. I've seen where they like
Really?
do like the whole grid before. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like all like planned out that way, but I don't know about just the top and it being like that clear on, like this is me. But this is a really cool setup. I like that. I
Just
can
think of it as like your Instagram banner, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So, and I like this. This is like her face, so it's the
I mean,
pictures.
she likes to have a lot more fun with her highlight reels, and she breaks it down based on cases and different. She's a fertility doctor, so
Okay.
different root causes, everything like that. So I would still love to do album covers. That doesn't change, but I really like that she has testimonials, labs, PCOS, anything related to what folks might be going through that she can help folks with. And also when it comes to feed, because I know that was another question you had. So scrolling down, I don't really care too much about making the feed look perfectly branded, as long as the feed is optimized for as much as you can for basically the hook. So when someone looks at your feed, if they see something that makes them want to read more, that's
Mm,
ideal. So we
got it.
try our best. You can add reel covers. You can make the first slide of a carousel super appealing and have a hook in there. You can pair within a reel that's optimized for the feed. So just trying to optimize for that 1080 by 1080 block, which is the center,
Hmm.
and then popping a hook in there.
Got it. Okay. So you're like, format, it's obviously if something's put together very nice, then that's nice. But the main priority is the hook. Like, what is the image or like the arrow pointing or like the headline that's like, I'm captivated, you got me, I want more, is what you're
Yeah,
optimizing
totally.
around. Okay. Really
As
cool.
best as you can. Yep.
And you prefer having like branded, highlight reel icons here?
I mean, if you, like I said, if you're like a super aesthetic person and your brand identity is really strong, I think it's a really good opportunity for you to continue that. If you're a more personal brand and it would be more beneficial for you to have pictures, high resolution pictures that relate to what the album is about, you can do that instead. So maybe you have like a beachwear line and you do a picture of
Mm,
beachwear, and then you have BTS and it's a picture of you taking a picture, and that's the cover album. That's fine.
got it.
But I definitely recommend it be higher quality than low res.
In the search term right here, it has her name, and then it's like boom, like this is what I'm an expert at. So this
There
is
you go.
people searching, like it's still pulling up. Like if someone searches this, it'll still pull this, right?
Yep, exactly.
Got it. Okay. This is fun. Is there anything else that you feel that I didn't ask yet that would be really helpful for someone to know?
I think that all I want people to remember is just like any other form of sales process, like using FlowChat is a form of sales process that you're building out. Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, they're the exact same. So everything that you do on your social media, what you post and how you formulate your profile is a part of your sales process. So work to optimize it just like you would anything else. And just remember, this is the experience that you're creating for your leads. So the easier you can make it for them, the more positive and calming, and the easier you can make it for them to take the next step, the better it's going to be for you.
Amazing. So for anyone listening or watching that's like, okay, this is cool. I need this for my Instagram. Wait, there's more. I can do this for LinkedIn. I can do, how do I do this? I think you mentioned going to your Instagram is the best place to find you.
Yes. So there are many ways that we help coaches and consultants, practitioners, facilitators, and we do have something special coming up for Black Friday. So if you are a coach and consultant looking to do a Black Friday promo or winter promo, and you want to make sure that everything's in order on your social media website and your funnel, then you can DM me winter. I'm not launching it just yet, but I'm willing to give the first dibs to you guys. So just head on over to darbydays.co, follow me, and then message me winter, and I'll send you more information. And also, if you don't have winter promo and you just want to learn more about us, you can just send me a DM and we can chat there. But I'm always on IG.
Cool. There we go. I'm in the cool club now.
Ah, you're the cool club. Unfortunately, I don't have a ManyChat automation set up yet, so
That's all good. It's
you'll
all
have to
good.
wait for me to manually message you back.
Hey, early bird gets the worm still. So
Yeah,
it's done.
exactly.
That's awesome. Now, I'd like to hear a little more background of like, how you got into all this and what you've learned along the way. But before we transition there, I was just curious on any other like growth hacks that you recommend on Instagram. Like if you're looking to grow your following, you're looking to increase your engagement, when you need to solve that problem, what do you do?
So, if we're talking about viewership, I think the easiest thing to do for Instagram is to post content that is niche, that is controversial or high impact, and post it at a frequency that is, 3 to 5 times a week if you can execute that with high quality. And the easiest way to get higher viewership to begin with is just to put a little bit of money behind it. And I know for folks just starting out, putting money behind something isn't like they don't have a bunch of budget to work with. But even something like $5 a day for a week behind an Instagram reel can give you quite a bit of leverage. And from there, what I would say is the content that you're posting, try and start conversations from that content. And I know you're a big advocate of that as well. So using a keyword in the visual, in the copy to incite conversation in both the comment section and in DMs is really powerful. If we just post something to gain viewership, that's fine. But I'm a huge advocate of, using every opportunity in social media as an opportunity for a sale. And so, what can we do to guide them closer and closer towards working with you? And keywords are a great way to do that.
Love it. Okay, this is awesome. How did you get started down this whole social media rabbit hole?
Well, I went to university for communications and I have a minor in sales, but I actually didn't work in the industry coming out of university. And the career that I had before working as a marketing agency owner was a 911 operator. And I actually ended up getting fired from that job because I was awful at it, like so bad. I am embarrassed to say. But after I got fired, thankfully, the Canadian government is very nice and provides a little bit of funding for folks who get fired. And so I was able to take a couple months to really rethink my life and where I wanted it to take me. And I decided that I should do something with the degree that I spent tens of thousands of dollars on. And so the first thing that I did was start writing for medium.com, which
Hmm.
is a blogging platform. So before I was a 911 operator, I was a vet assistant. And I've always been passionate about animals and fostering animals and rehabilitating animals. So I created a publication on medium.com called Creatures and started bringing on writers and publishing content. Within a very short period of time, we became the #1 animal welfare publication on the platform, which was
Wow.
super cool. We had over 250 writers, and it was just really exciting. And I finally felt like, oh, I'm really good at this, and maybe I should continue doing it. But on medium.com, it's very difficult to make money.
Hmm.
And I was only making like 25 bucks a month. So obviously not sustainable. Um,
Largest publication
but
or in that area, $25. Oh man.
I know. It's yeah, in order to be like have sustainable income on that platform, it's like, being an influencer on any other platform. It's a hustle and it's not for the faint of heart. So one of my writers actually wanted to publish her first book, and she reached out to me seeing if I would be interested in helping market it. And of course, I faked it till I made it. And I said, absolutely no problem. We can do this. So that was one of my first contracts as a social media manager slash marketer. And at a very similar time, I had a mutual contact who had a veterinarian who taught actually well-being for other veterinarians. So because the suicide rate and mental health
Hmm.
industry for veterinarians is very serious. So I became her social media manager as well. And it took off from there, really. I kept getting word of mouth referrals and I really enjoyed it. And then social media turned into email marketing, and social media and email marketing turned into marketing automations. And then the agency was born. And after working with multiple types of clients, I really found a passion for working with coaches and consultants because they're very impact driven and they can get some incredible results for their clients. So that's why I decided to niche down.
I love it. That's awesome. So you had the writing background. It's creating content was there's already kind of a spark there, it sounded like. So very natural
For
to
sure.
eventually fake it till you make it, where you're helping other people kind of formulate thought and market themselves and tell their story to the marketplace. That's awesome. Well, Darby, I really appreciate you taking time to pour into our audience today and unlock my social media IG profile and hopefully others that are watching and listening to this. Anything else that you'd like to share with them before we wrap up?
No, I just want folks to feel empowered to show up online and be authentic and say what they want to say because there is a lot of noise out there, but I can guarantee if you say what you genuinely want to say and you're coming to social media and email marketing from a place of wanting to help and provide value, you can change people's lives, which is really cool. So don't censor yourself or hold yourself back in that sense.
That's awesome. You make it sound so easy. It shows your expertise on it. So appreciate you, Darby.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks. And hey, appreciate all you for your time, your attention. We're talking to real entrepreneurs getting real results. And today you got to see in action on live on the spot. Darby break down my profile so you can evaluate yours and implement the value that she brought today and get the results because the problem that you solve matters and the work that you're doing matters. And entrepreneurship can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be. And that's why this content is here. So come hang out with us on the next one. We'll have some more great stuff for you. We'll see you guys next time.